released the last album, I'd been with the band for 2 years when we recorded it. So like, it was familiar to me. But like I said, I kind of had my own stuff I wanted to bring in, and Jamie and I kind of put that together.
Yeah.
But but like when the album came out and we had it going around Melbourne, we thought, well, this is all right, but I wonder how we go. We'd seen the success of other bands overseas. Some friends of ours, Tequila Mockingbird, had gone over to England and sort of gone from playing small venues over here to sort of selling out venues over in England, and we got onto Metal Coffee PR in America, and we sort of started getting a bit of distribution stuff through them, and through them we got signed by Slip Trick for the album, and Slip Trick Records, and found, hang on, people over in Europe like our stuff, and people over in America like our stuff, and stuff that Australians are kind of, I guess, sport for choice. All of a sudden is going well over there. I mean, we saw things like we're constantly being compared to bands like Rose Tattoo and AC/DC. And you think, okay, well, kind of the same. Not much recognition in Australia until they actually went overseas. So we thought, why not try that? I mean, Rose Tattoo still now angry. He's in his 70s and going over to Europe and selling out stadiums. So, it's obviously where the scene's at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, you said it already. There's kind of almost like an expectation when you hear Aussie and rock and roll that you're going to be compared to your AC/DCs and your Rose Tattoos and so on. Do you mind that? Do you just kind of think, great to be part of that? Such legends, I guess.
Look, to be honest, you can't really say, oh, how dare you compare me to those bands. I mean, they were my favourite bands growing up. But it does get a bit tiresome. We get compared to AC/DC quite a bit, and say, oh yeah, just a pale comparison. And all right, I don't hear it.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, we just do basic rock and roll. We're not trying to reinvent anything. We play what we enjoy. So you can't say, oh, I'm sick of being compared to them, because I mean, you can be compared to the greats, but the Dirty Rats were our own sound. As far as I'm concerned, there's no real comparison there. Some of our songs are influenced by, we're influenced by, Motorhead, by Kiss, by Cosmic Psychos. I love Cosmic Psychos. They're one of my favourite bands. Yeah. But we're, as far as I know, as far as I'm concerned, we're our own band, and great compares to those. But listen to our music without sort of thinking, oh yeah, this is not as good as AC/DC. Well, we're not trying to be freaking AC/DC. Yeah. We're the Dirty Rats, for God's sake, Let's compare the music to sort of other underground Melbourne bands.
Yeah. It's a lazy comparison. It literally is one of those that just gets attached to you because of where you're from more than anything else, I think.
I remember I read a recent review, and it essentially just said that, you hear this album and you can tell straight away they're Australian, so obviously, bang, AC/DC, Rose Tattoo.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're right. It seems to be the go-to thing. And like I said, fantastic, great bands, the absolute legends, but, comparison on music, man.
Yeah, give you a go, proper go.
I mean, I work hard on lyrics. All the lyrics I do have a meaning for me. They tell a story that, a lot of my influences are guys, strange enough, for the music we write. A lot of my lyric writing style is influenced by guys like Paul Kelly and Glenn Shorrock and that type of thing. Guys who would write a story, who would tell you a story within the confines of that song, and that's what I try to do. We had a song on the last album called "Not Alone," which was written in the context of a previous life. I was I don't know if it's going to give me a lot of street cred, but I was a copper in South Australia in Australia here for like 21 years, and sort of that song was basically from my experiences I'd had sort of as a frontline copper. So like that tries to tell a story there. Rat Town was a story of sort of just going out with the guys from the Rats and just sucking piss and playing music. There's a new song on the new album called Rat Rock, which is pretty much just trying to get the same thing across. It's just about having an absolute fantastic time just going out and playing in a band.
Yeah.
And that's all the song's about. So, doing the lazy comparisons is fine, but listen to the lyrics because I'm trying to tell a story here.
Yeah, I agree, and it's funny you say that because ultimately the expectation on the new album as well, will be party anthems, beer drinking, rock and roll, and while obviously as you say, you have tracks about that, you're not afraid to branch out. You've got blues inspired tracks, and you say your lyrical content. It's not just out and out rock and roll.
No. Rockstar is a total departure for us on the new album. It's the last song, and it was just us. We'd been jamming around, and Jamie and I had been sort of jamming a bit and sort of coming up with some different types of sounds, and we just kind of reverted back to just doing a bit of 12-bar blues basically. Rockstar, strangely enough, I woke up at 3 a.m. with the whole song in my head.
Oh wow!
Had a notebook by the table and wrote it all down, and the next day I rang Jamie up and said, "Oh, look, we need to work on this one because this is really cool." But it's totally different to anything we'd ever done as the Rats. We don't normally just revert back to the old 12-bar, but it just seemed we tried to do a few variations as usual. Jamie said, "Yeah, you're a fucking wanker. That's bullshit." And we tried to rock it up. I said, "Look, it just works best."
Yeah.
As a straight up 12-bar song, and essentially that was all about when you're young and you're dreaming about making it big in the music industry, and then after a few years you realise, well, that's not gonna fucking happen.
Yeah.
So it's just about sort of having dreams, but sort of accepting who you are. I'm an older guy with no hair and no money, but still enjoying going out and gigging. So that's what the song's all about. It's sort of accepting that and still having and still still wanting to go on with what I'm doing type thing.
Yeah.
So and something like Jaded. Jaded was probably another one of my favourite songs in there too, because it was just about expressing frustrations. I've been around doing this for so long. And you get people coming up saying, "Oh yeah, we can do this and we can do that," and you're just thinking, of course you can, but just realising your limitations, and that's what Jaded's all about. And it's a fun song, One of the favourite lines out of that one is, I don't come to where you work and knock the dick out your mouth, and because so many times people come up and try and tell you how to do what you do.
Yeah.
And you go, that's all fantastic, man. But you should try doing this. You should try this type of promotion. You should try and play this type of music and all that type of thing. I say, well, fuck, mate. We've been doing this for this long. We're not really looking at reinventing the wheel, man.
Yeah.
This is what's fun for us. You either like it or you don't like it.
But
this is how it is.
If you're enjoying it, that's ultimately the most important thing. You said it already. To dream of making it, to dream of being the next AC/DC, it doesn't exist nowadays. It's impossible. There's no money to be made, barring few bands. So if you can just get out there, have a good time, and I guess make an impression to even a handful of people, you're doing something right. At least from your perspective, I imagine.
Yeah, like I said, if people listen to this album and have a bit of fun with it, have a few beers and hang out with their mates and play this full bore, or play out the car while they're driving down the road and think, fuck, this is all right, it's keeping me awake, I'm enjoying this. That's all I'm after, man. I mean, I just want people to enjoy the songs. Don't think too hard about them, just enjoy them, That's what it's really all about.
No, I get that, and I guess that's kind of your expectations on the new album. Really, it's excited to get it out and get it heard, and hope people just enjoy it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty much it.
So you've had I say a very lengthy back to the '80s career, particularly obviously based in your homeland. What's been the biggest challenge overall for the bands, do you think?
I think sort of when you play around Melbourne, especially now, I mean, back in the day, the Dirty Rats would play the Corner Hotel in Richmond and just pack the place out.
Mm.
And there's bands like Angel of Death, played support for us in the early days. Sort of, and they became quite big over in England. Um, Poor old Hobbsy's unfortunately just passed away, but
Yeah.
sort of it's yeah, things like that. And then nowadays you go to a gig and and you've got 12 people in the audience. So it's just, the style of pub rock we play, I think, is as popular as ever,
Yeah.
but unfortunately, it doesn't get the support it once did. And people are sport for choice. Basically,
Yeah.
I think a lot of it is that problem. I mean, we'll go out and play with 3 or 4 other bands who are all doing sort of pub rock. In my opinion, probably not as good as us, but still, still doing it.
Yeah.
So oh well, I can go to a Rats gig this week, or if I miss it, there'll be another one in a couple of weeks
Yep.
and go there. So I think that's why it's enjoying a bit of a resurgence over there. Is that it's not as common, and it's not seen as often, and it's I mean, Australian pub rock is fairly unique in how it was sort of like how it was developed, and how it's grown over the years. And I think that's the biggest challenge for us. Jamie Jamie gets really frustrated because he's been doing this a lot longer than me, and
Right. Yeah.
he's his opinion. He reckons oh, like Australia's dead to us. There's just nothing for us here. We need to go over. We need to go over and tour in England and Germany and France and that type of thing, and go over to America. And he's probably right.
Yeah.
If we want, that's kind of where our audience is now. The last album sold a lot of copies, but mainly in Germany and sort of Eastern Bloc countries.
Right.
Seems to be where the market is at the moment. A lot in America. I mean, with Suicide off the last album still being played every day on radio stations in America. So it's hard in Australia because you don't get the commercial support either. The commercial radio, and I guess that's a complaint you can make everywhere. Commercial radio, they're after the advertising dollar, and it's a business and all that type of
Yeah.
thing, which you can understand. But it just seems that if you're not like in your early 20s and there's not 5 of you dancing and singing, or if you didn't record your rock song 30 odd years ago, they're not really interested. I love bands like Cold Chisel and sort of Hunters and Collectors and all that type of thing. But that's what gets played on commercial radio over here. It's that's pub rock, and it was recorded in the 80s and 90s, and anything after that doesn't exist.
Right.
You know,
Right. So when you talk about like the need to go to Europe basically and UK and American stuff like that, what's I guess what's stopping you? Is it simply financially, the mammoth task that would take?
we had an American tour
Mm.
planned last year. We're going to go in May this year. We had the venues were lined up. We're all booked. Tickets were sort of being sold. Everything else, it was looking quite good.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, visa issues. We'd started with, because you can't apply for your P1 visa until 6 months before you go.
Right.
We started the process as soon as we could, and by the time we got to about a month out from the tour, we still hadn't had any sort of any feedback from Department of Homeland Security. So it was just a process where we thought, well, do we try and press on and hopefully get the visa in time? Which case, if we didn't get it in time, we have all these venues that are going, well, hang on, these guys aren't reliable and we'll never get bookings there again. Or do we pull out and try again later?
Yeah.
So that kind of fell through there. We've since hooked up with some guys over in Scandinavia, strangely enough, that that tour over that way, and they're sort of setting something up for us. So hopefully we'll be over there in April, May next year. So with some dates over in hopefully in the UK and Germany, France, the Netherlands, that type of thing.
Yeah.
So that'll be good. But at the moment, yeah, it's pretty much cash.
Yeah.
Getting the money together. Same as the Aussie dollar's taken a bit of a hit and is not not as valuable as it once was. I think you get for the British sterling. I think for every pound you get an Australian house. I think, and firstborn child per pound. Yeah.
At least you're not having to deal with Brexit. At least you haven't got that. At least you've got your own Australia thing going on.
Well, yeah, I've been kind of following that. Yeah, it's not a good situation, is it?
Right, we'll wrap this
Yeah.
up then with last one then, really. What to date for you personally has been the most satisfying thing that's happened to you in Dirty Rats?
I think the most satisfying thing for me was when we started getting people from overseas, getting onto our website and just saying how much they were enjoying the stuff we were playing. The first album, whilst I really enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed recording it. I liked the music. It was great, and it was getting out there, and everyone was enjoying it, and that was satisfying. But the most satisfying thing for me has been getting this new album out, End in Tears, because I know I have written, sort of with Jamie and Chuka. I know that I've written every song on that album, and people have been listening to it saying, "Oh fuck, this is good. I really like this." And every time they say that, kind of, well, shit, that's really cool. Yeah, I've said before, and I'll say it again. I don't care if we sell 2 albums as long as the two that buy it really liked it. Really enjoy listening to it. To me, that's the fun part is sort of putting something out that I've poured a lot of myself into, that people really enjoy. And like I said, as a creative group, the Dirty Rats, Jamie and I do most of the writing. Chuka comes up with riffs. Andy sort of comes up with helps us out with arrangements and gets all the type of thing. And it's a big collaborative effort to come up with the song. And sort of when you hear it, you think, fuck, that's good. I normally can't stand hearing myself talk. I listen to some interviews I've done and I think, oh fuck, do I really sound like that? And I've never enjoyed hearing myself sing until I recorded these last 2 albums with the Rats. I still don't like the sound of my voice, but I just love hearing these songs, hearing these things come out, and I think it was I could listen to that again. I guess it's narcissistic, I don't know, but I just love what we're doing.
No. We talk to a lot of bands via Skype and stuff like that, and everyone always tries to kind of play down their achievements and play down perhaps what their new record is like and stuff, because you don't want to appear, say, narcissistic or arrogant and stuff like that. And we always kind of say, man, the way you're talking there, the positivity you're sending our way and stuff like that, it's enlightening. It's fantastic.
Oh, as I say, I love it. This has been, as I say, joining the I've been in bands before, and I have to say, so the Dirty Rats, for all the fact that they're rooted in the '80s and everything else, it's just been the best part of my musical journey, man. And the music we're creating, I fucking love it. It really is.